welcome back everyone. Today we are going to pivot into the world of machine embroidery. And so I not only teach sewing, the basics of sewing, I also teach the basics of machine embroidery. And so with Easter coming up, I thought it would be fun to create a project that's called In the Hoop. You all are mostly familiar with monograms and names on things and maybe, a flower or a shark, stitched out on something. But what a lot of people don't know is you can also do other things in your embroidery hoop besides just monogramming. And you can really create some cute projects. So today we're going to end up creating a little Easter bunny. So that'll be cool. All right, let's go through the supplies that you're going to need for this project. You're going to need some medium weight tearaway stabilizer, okay? You'll also need some water soluble stabilizer, all right? This is not saran wrap, so don't think this is saran wrap. You want a water soluble stabilizer to tear away as well as it'll wash away with water, okay? And then you want to grab a material that's nice and soft against your hand. So I'm using a Minky dot. You can use a fleece. You can use a solid Minky dot if you wanted to. You actually could even use a knit if you wanted to with this material, with this project rather. You want something that's got some stretch to it, okay? And feels good against the skin. You're going to want some polyfil. So this is great for stuffing the bunny. And then you're going to want like a ribbon. That'll be great to go around the bunny's neck as a little accent. All right, and lastly, you're going to want a needle and thread that will match the thread color to match your fabric so that we can close it up at the end, okay? So now let's go ahead and get started on this project. Okay, this is a bunny project that comes from the company Planet Appliqué. And it's a really quick stitch up design, so you can have a whole lot of fun with it. Even though I'm using a multi-needle machine, you can also do this on a single needle machine. It goes as low as a 4x4 size. So it is doable for anyone that has an embroidery machine, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to hoop your stabilizer, okay? I know some of you who have been embroidering a long time, you can notice this is actually not a tearaway that I'm using. I ran out of my tearaway. So I'm just using my poly mesh, so don't mind that part. You want to use a tearaway so that it's easy to take off. But if you're like me and you ran out, you can still do this project, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our stabilizer, put it in our hoop, and then we're going to put the hoop on the machine. No fabric or anything, just the stabilizer. All right, and the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to stitch an outline of our bunny. So that is the first step, the first one on this In the Hoop project, okay? All right, our outline is done. This is called a placement stitch, okay? It's letting you know where to place your fabric because you want to make sure you cover all of the stitching, all right? So next what we're going to do is we are going to grab just one of our Minky dots, okay? One. And we're going to place it over our outline, making sure we cover everything. Okay, we have placed our Minky dot fabric down. As you can see here, it is covering all of the stitching, okay? It's nice and smooth, all right? On top of this, we want to take our water soluble, all right? The reason that we use water soluble on top of this Minky is because the Minky has a nap to it, has a hair to it, a pile to it, however you want to describe it. And that water soluble allows the embroidery stitches to sit on top of those hairs so that the design is not lost within the hairs and the fibers of the material, okay? You can see it really nicely, okay? So that's where the water soluble comes in. So if you're doing towels or something in embroidery, or anything that's got like a hair to it or a nap to it, you want to use water soluble on top, okay? All right, so we place that water soluble down, and you can take this down if you want to, or you can just let it flow freely. It's up to you. I'm just going to let it flow freely. And our next step that we're going to do is it's going to do the eyes, okay? So let's go ahead and let it get started. All right, our next step is it is going to do the curvature of the hip and the leg on our bunny. All right, and then lastly, it's going to end up doing the ear portion of our bunny. All right, believe it or not, we've only got one more stitch step to go. Okay, I took the hoop off the machine, and you can see we've got our leg curvature here, we've got our eye, and we've got our ear curvature there. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this water soluble and we're gonna tear it away. Don't pull too hard because you don't want to lose the placement of your material, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your second piece of material and you're going to lay it down on top. And y'all, I don't even know if I mentioned it. I got so distracted. I just cut the Minky dot to fit within the hoop, okay? So the hoop size. So it just really depends on what hoop size you're working with. I just cut the Minky squares to fit within the hoop, okay? That's all you have to do. All right, so right sides are touching each other, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to put this right back on the machine, okay? Put it on the same way you took it off. And it's now going to stitch that outline around the bunny like it did in our very first step. And that's going to put the back to the front. All right, guys, our stitching is done. I know it was that fast. I think it was like 6 minutes. I don't know. But let's go ahead and take our bunny out of our hoop. All right. And what we're going to do, as you can see, I got mine caught just a little bit around the edge, and that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our stabilizer off, and we are going to trim around. So first, let me show you the trimming and then how to remove that stabilizer, okay? If you want, you can see right here at the bottom. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this really good. You can see there's an opening, okay? There's an opening right there. That's going to allow us to flip our bunny. So when you're cutting, cut up to that line, but don't cut your stitch line, okay? Do the same on the other side, okay? All right, and just leave that rectangle right there, okay? Just leave that rectangle right there. And then what you can do is take your scissors and you're gonna cut close to the stitching, but not cutting the stitching, leaving yourself about 1/4 of an inch stitch, seam allowance. So just cut that all the way around. See how close I'm cutting? I'm leaving just about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Okay, so now that all of our cutting is done, it'll look like this on one side, and then once we move the stabilizer, we tear it all away, it should look like this on the other side, okay? So next what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and flip it to the right side through the opening that we left. Oh, it looks so cute. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. All right, let's grab some stuffing and we are going to stuff our bunny. All right, he's all nice and stuffed. Look how cute he looks. Oh, he looks so darling. All right, now we're going to close him up on the bottom, okay? Okay, grab your needle and your thread. I'm just using regular all-purpose thread. You want to make sure that it's doubled and knotted, at the end, okay? Make sure you have a nice good knot at the end, all right? And then take your bunny, and where we left that opening, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to end up doing a ladder stitch here. And if you've seen my floor cushion video, we do a ladder stitch on there to close up a hole as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your needle and you're going to go through the inside of your bunny layer. This is where it's folded in, okay? So go right inside there, and you're going to push that needle through and then let it come up out of the side, okay? But I'm near the seam, and I'm going to pull that. Try not to get it tangled like I'm doing. I'm going to pull it until that knot stabilizes there, okay? And then next, what I do for me is I turn it around, because I like to sew right to left, making sure that my raw edge is on the inside here. I'm going to be moving along the folds, okay? Moving along the folds there. So I'm going to take my needle, and where I came out, I'm going to go right across from where I came out, okay? And I'm going to go in, staying in that fold. I'm going to come up about 1/4 of an inch out the fold, and I'm going to pull my thread. I'm going to come across from where I came out, all right? I'm going to go into that fold, slide up about 1/4 of an inch, and then come out. And if it starts to tangle a little bit, you can loosen it, all right? And if you see there, you'll begin to see what looks like steps. See those steps? All right, again, I'm going to come across from where I came out, come up about 1/4 of an inch. All right, you don't have to tighten it right now, okay? Right now, we're just putting the stitches in place. Again, come across. I'm going to keep doing that until I have closed up everything in this hole. All right, so I'm about at the end here. And when I finish, I'm coming up through the seam there in the middle. Now, if you look here, you can see that ladder stitching, okay? And we're just gonna give it a nice little pull on our thread, and it's gonna start to close up. Look at that. See that closing? And you want to go all the way to where you began and have it nice and closed. Look how good that looks. See that? All right. And now what you're going to do is just knot the end here. I like to do 3 knots, especially when I'm working with like a fleece. You want it nicely down at the base. And then we're going to hide a little bit of the thread on the inside, okay? So once you get that 3rd one, all right, this is the back of our bunny here. So I'm going to take that thread and I'm going to go right down in that seam, okay? Hold on to your needle because we don't want to lose it inside of our bunny. Let that needle come out the back, and then I just pull it, give it a little bit of a tug, and then I cut that thread. Okay, and look at there. Nicely closed up. It looks really good. Our bunny's done. Now we got one more thing we want to do, and that is we want to do an embellishment around about his neck. Okay, I decided I want a little bit of pop of color on my guy here. And so I'm going to take, this is just some satin ribbon, all right? The size of this, let's see, is 1.5 inch. So if you grab like anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inch size ribbon, this is like the 8x12 size bunny. So he's a little larger. So pick a ribbon that's going to fit for the size that you're making. But just go ahead and place it around. Now, y'all don't laugh at me. I am not a ribbon person, okay? So forgive me. But I make it long enough so that I can tie it. I work upside down a lot, so I'll take my ribbon and I'm going to tie me a knot here. And again, don't y'all come after me in the comments about my bow. God has not gifted me in the area of bow making, so I'm going to stay in my lane. All right. And so go ahead and make you a little loop-de-loop. All right. And once you've gotten it made, and you can tighten it down. All right. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Let's see if we loosen it up a little bit. There we go. I think I like that size. All right. Yes, it is an afflicted bow. But nonetheless, I think it's still cute. All right, and you can take your ends and you can just clip them and burn your ends however, whatever it is that you want to do with them. And if you look here, we have got a cutie, a real cutie. He's adorable. I like him. I like him a lot. Okay, y'all, I really appreciate y'all watching today and learning something different, with machine embroidery, and letting you know that there's more that you can do with your embroidery machine than just monogramming. And so this is an In the Hoop project. Again, it's from Planet Appliqué. I'll put the link in the description so that you can grab it and have some fun making it. You can add a name if you want to, whatever floats your boat. But these would be fun to put in an Easter basket for your kiddos, or, as a gift to someone. So if you don't sew or don't embroider and you like some of the things that we create, feel free to go to sephoriastudio.com and look on our website, and you're welcome to order from us or contact us so that we can create something unique for you. I would love that. Keep liking and subscribing our videos. We're having fun making them with you all. And I look forward to seeing you next time on our next project.